Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben, and in this video today I want to talk to you about mindset, because this is a thing that's very popular to talk about in self-improvement. Everyone's talking about, having like a abundance mindset, or having like an action-focused mindset, or a positive mindset, and there's so many mindsets that you're supposed to have. But in this video I want to talk to you about why mindset just isn't important. And the main reason why so many people in the self-improvement industry talk about mindset over everything else is because they don't know anything else. All they really know is how to really motivate you and get you fired up and raring to go. And there's nothing particularly wrong with that. Like there's a place for mindset, but it's not really necessary. And I really don't intend to make this video super long because the concept is pretty simple. Mindset is not nearly as important as taking action. I've seen so many people say that, success is like 90% mindset and 10% action. And that's got to be one of the stupidest things that I've ever heard. At its most generous, it's 50% mindset, 50% action. But from my experience, my understanding of the world and the way that things work, and also from an intuitive perspective, it is far better to be taking action than it is to be working on your mindset. And let me explain to you why I believe that that is the case. And my main argument is that you can have action without mindset. And I'm going to go ahead and use me as an example, because I have a terrible mindset. I'm lazy, I'm not motivated most of the time, and yet somehow I still manage to continuously achieve the goals that I set in my life, despite having a really crap mindset. I oftentimes deal with negativity. In spite of all of my years of mindfulness and meditation, I still get anxious sometimes. I still deal with a whole bunch of problems that would very easily be defined as having a poor mindset or a bad mindset. And yet I still get stuff done. And the reason why is because I take action anyway. And I've spoken about this concept before in my video on how to become your minimum viable person. I make sure that on a daily basis, I am taking the minimum amount of action that I need to take in order to work towards my goals. So take this YouTube channel, for example. I could be doing a whole lot more work and probably growing my channel a whole lot quicker if I was to put in like hours upon hours of work every single day. But instead what I've done is that I have given myself a general goal of reaching a certain amount of subscribers, a certain amount of income by the end of like 3 years from now, once I finish my counselling qualification. And I know that in order to achieve that goal, I could probably achieve it a lot faster if I did way more work up front. But instead what I do is I make sure that I am at the very least taking the minimum amount of action, because I've tried to do the massive action thing before and it just burns me out. And I've seen it happen with people as well, and it's probably happened to you where you've had all this motivation to start something and you've gotten like 3 weeks in and you thought, maybe I'll just take a day off, and that day turns into a week and that week turns into a month because you stressed yourself out and you burned yourself out. Instead, what I focus on doing is taking the minimum amount of action necessary to achieve my goals. At the moment, that is posting a video every single day. Pretty easy to do, because on top of that, I've figured out how to kind of front load my action as well, because whenever I do have a big old boost of motivation, then I go and I take the massive action, and as soon as that motivation drops off, which will typically happen after like a few hours, then I go back to taking the minimum amount of action necessary in order to move forward, because I believe that it's better to be consistently moving forward than taking this stop start approach whenever you feel motivation. Motivation is such an unreliable fuel source for your life, when the clear thing to do is, instead of waiting for motivation to hit you, or having to go and watch a motivational video every time you have to go to the gym, Like, instead, why not just focus on building momentum instead by taking the minimum amount of action, so you've always got this little bit of momentum pushing you forward. And I continue to make progress, and I continue to improve the videos that I'm making, and I continue to work on like my health and fitness, and I continue to learn more stuff, and I continue to earn money and all this other stuff, despite the fact that my mindset is terrible, because I focus, as I said, every single day on just taking a little bit of action, the minimum amount of action necessary. Sometimes once I've taken that little bit of action for the day, you know, the motivation builds itself up and I'm able to move forward a little bit faster. And some days it doesn't, so I only take the minimum viable action. And like I said, I do all of this with a bad mindset, and the chances are I'll always still have a bad mindset because I've always been kind of lazy, and like that's okay. That's part of my personality. So I don't really like doing a whole lot of hard work like all at once. I prefer to do things in smaller chunks and spread it out. I'm not the kind of person that like waits until the night before an exam before I do all of my prep. I do like a little bit here and there. Like I start like months in advance, because I know that instead of me trying to defeat my mindset, I can actually just work with it and work around it instead. All the more reason why I believe that mindset just is not that important in the face of actually taking consistent action and building up momentum towards what your goal actually is. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that has provided you with an alternative to always having to have like a positive or an action focused mindset, because it really isn't that important in the face of actually taking action. You don't even have to take a whole lot of action. You just have to take a little bit every single day. Like if you wanted to get fit, like instead of like going like all out at the gym for like 3 hours, you know, 3 or 4 times a week, instead you could like work out at home for like 10-15 minutes a day, and that would probably be fine as well. As long as you were doing something like maybe like high intensity interval training, or even if it was something like just going for a walk, just burning that extra bit of calories. You're not going to get to like a super athlete's body in like 3 months. Maybe it'll take like 3 years instead, or like 10 years, but you would get there eventually, and you wouldn't have to constantly beat yourself up for having a crappy mindset as well. So just mindset isn't all that important. If you've got a good mindset, that's great. If you want to improve it, you can do that too, but it's not a necessity. The only necessity to achieving your goals, whatever they are, is to take consistent action. And that's all I've got for today. So let me know what your thoughts and questions are in the comment section down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video if this is the kind of content you're into. I put out a video every single day, as I said, focused on confidence and life advice for the average Joe. So if that's what you're interested in, subscribe to the channel. And that's it. That's all I've got for today. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very soon.